following a Game 5 victory over the New York Yankees when all seemed to be lost after a Game 4 that was really heartbreaking. The Rockies have extended the series back to Yankee Stadium here for Game 6. A victory today, and we force a winner takes all Game 7 for the World Series championship. Thought for sure after the bullpen blew back-to-back games that we would be headed home in Game 5, but that's not the case. Now, a caveat to that Game 5 victory is we were facing off the number 5 starter for New York. We're not going to be facing off against that caliber of pitcher today. It's going to be a much better pitcher in Shane Bieber. He really shut this offense down back in Game 1. We'll look to do so once more. And got to get a better performance from the offense today if we want to come out with a victory. We've been struggling against the high caliber pitchers of the Yankees. You know, good pitching hadn't really held this offense down much prior to the World Series, but something different about these Yankees, I suppose. Bieber really pitched like that two-time Cy Young caliber pitcher back in Game 1. Looking for a better results here, but Kyle Brown will go down on a flyout. Struck decently well, but very short outfield here. So not hard for an outfield with speed like the Yankees have to cover pretty much mostly everywhere in it. And I think that's been a factor in our offensive struggles here as Dorsey goes down looking on the knuckle curve to end the inning. So far, Bieber looking an awful lot like he did back in Game 1. Just one inning, though. Chase Dollander will be on the mound for the Yankees here, and I will say he's not at 100% energy. Neil Dorsey was scheduled to get the start today, but if we got to a Game 7, I wanted Neil Dorsey at full energy. So decided to pitch with Chase today. He's at like 90 or 95%. It's not going to be a major deal. Maybe consider his pitch count probably about like 10 pitches above what it actually is. So we might only get like a 5-inning game from Chase, assuming, of course, he actually pitches well. So keep that in mind here in Game 6. Going against O'Neal Cruz now and gets him swinging at a slider. A nasty pitch to end off the inning. No hits on either side through 1. Both pitchers doing their job. Striking out the other team's best hitter in that 3 spot. Brian Doe, of course, was promoted to the number 4 spot with the injury of Rafael Murillo and how well he's played here in the postseason. Retired there, but that'll bring up Zach Veen. Zach Veen, the machine, gets the scoring started in Game 6 with a solo home run. That one would have been blasted in any stadium. 419 feet off the bat. His 5th home run of the postseason. And with Murillo gone, we're going to need some people to step up down the stretch of the World Series. If we want a chance, Veen might need to be one of them. Salas goes down looking at the cutter. That hits that inside edge. 3rd strikeout already for Bieber. Good start with the K's today. Sterling Thompson, a light tapper. Just the 1 hit and the 1 run for Colorado here. Bottom 2 now. Dollander. Again, if you consider him to have maybe 10 pitches higher than what he has, then he's got to keep his pitch count in a good spot in this game if he wants any chance to go deep. Strikeouts like that certainly going to help. 2nd straight time he's gotten himself a nasty slider to get strike 3 on a very talented New York hitter. Wells hitting .274 so far this postseason. Retired here. Michael Massey goes down swinging on the slider, and that pitch is working for Chase here early. Colorado will take the lead here into the third. Omar Figueroa, deep to right field. It is going to be a base knock for him. Struck well there. Spencer Jones had a chance, but unable to make the play. Kyle Datras in the ninth spot. A decently well struck fly ball here, but it's caught on the warning track. 1-out, base runner for Kyle Brown. A base knock up the middle. Good throw from Aaron Judge, so it'll be runners on first and second. 1 out here. Can the Rockies extend their lead? They've got a couple of their best hitters up next. Herrera, though, swings and misses on the knuckle curve. Strikeout number 4 for Bieber today. MVP Neil Dorsey. Really need him to come through for us here, but he's down swinging as well. Bieber able to get out of the mini jam without allowing a single run. You got to do better with runners in scoring position in an elimination game like this. Vientos down on a grounder to Sterling Thompson for the first out here, bottom of the third. Jones hitting a very respectable 367 so far in the postseason. Got a ton of this baseball, and it is gone. The tying home run from Spencer Jones, his 5th home run of this postseason. I guess all it takes is facing the Rockies to get your offense going in the postseason. It still baffles me how bad our pitching has been against an offense that had really not done much in the postseason. Not saying that Chase's pitching has been bad in this game per se. Just a lot of home runs from a offense that really hadn't hit many before the World Series. That's all I'm saying, although it's been well documented that Chase has had his problems with home runs in the past. Still, though, just 1 run allowed in his first 3 innings, and Brian Doe, not a great swing there. Makes it 6 strikeouts already for Bieber. Veen homered his first time out, unable to make anything of this second plate appearance. And Salas help us avoid a 1-2-3 inning. Not gonna happen this time around. Bieber seems like he's heating up as this game goes along. His strikeouts got some really nice stuff going here today. Yorid Vivas gets a grounder past the diving glove of first base for a leadoff single for New York. Onu Cruz up next. Struck out on a slider last time out. This time chooses to go down swinging on a fastball instead. 4 Ks for Dolander here. He's keeping up a good strikeout pace as well, just maybe not quite as good as Bieber's. Aaron Judge, that will get past the glove of Sterling Thompson. Runner advances to third and slides home safely. Can't quite beat him with the throw there. Makes it runners on the corners. Austin Wells up to the plate. It's one to center field. It is going to be an RBI hit for Wells. Yankees take their first lead of the ball game here, bottom of the 4th. Massey up, gets a pitch over the middle. Another base knock for New York. Another run will hold up at third, actually. Kind of surprising no attempt at home plate was made there, but it will load the bases with 1 out. Mark Vientos has a chance to really break this game open. Instead, it won't be a double play. Are you kidding me? Kyle Datras misses the throw. And a run scores because of it. You can't be missing a throw like that in a big spot that directly leads to a Yankees run. Only 2 outs. This inning should be over. Luckily for us, it'll only cost us a singular run, but this should be 2-1. It's not really going to matter, though, if the offense can't get things going. So far, just the solo homer for us as we head into the 5th, bottom of the order. Omar Figueroa may be looking to add something there and won't quite leave the yard, but it's an extra base hit for our first baseman. He's 2 for 2 today. One of the few offensive contributors so far for a guy who's been struggling as of late. That just goes down swinging. He's pretty much a free out, honestly, at that 9 spot for New York. But can the clutch of Kyle Brown come through for us? Not so much. So much for his clutch in the 90s. It'll remain 1-3 for New York. Bottom 5 now. Dominguez will go down on the ground out. Datris actually makes an accurate throw this time around. Top of the order back up for New York. Fry deep to left field. This one is behind the wall. And another New York home run. Again, I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but this team couldn't do anything offensively. And now all of a sudden they're power hitters left and right. Meanwhile, our team was power galore, and we can't do anything. It's like a Freaky Friday takeover at this point. The Yankees offense has stolen all of our power hitting, all of our explosiveness. Good strikeouts there to get out of the inning, but Troy Stolander might have to be done with that pitch count where it is. Clemente Herrera gets his first hit of the ball game here, top of the 6th. Neil Dorsey, another chance with a runner on base. Hits it deep to center field and caught. I thought we had ourselves a Dorsey home run there, just comes up short. So now it's Brian Doe who's swinging again and missing. Got the promotion to 4th in the lineup. Hasn't unfortunately been able to do much with it yet. Veen goes down easily on the grounder, and another scoreless inning for the Rockies. Jimmy Blanco would come in to relieve Dolander here in the 6th. And that one's going to get past the infield there. So a leadoff single. Not liking where the momentum of this game is going as it continues here into the later innings. Yankees offense starting to get guys on consistently here, while ours can't quite do so. Great strikeout there from Jimmy Blanco. He's one of the few guys that throws hard on this team, and so you love that. Full count for Vientos. Popped up. Zach Veen making a run and hauls it in. So no additional Yankees runs here for Jimmy Blanco. At least with this start against Bieber, couldn't really score much, but we didn't allow him to pitch super deep in the game. We've got 2 innings to really come back, because I don't see us having a strong inning against Jose Alvarado in the 9th. Gotta take advantage of the 7th and the 8th. Can't do so to start it off with solace. Thompson, though, gets one through the infield. We've got a base runner once again. We've been getting a decent amount of base runners, just can't do anything with them. Figueroa gets his 3rd hit today. Coming out of nowhere, Omar Figueroa makes it runners on the corners with 1 out. Gotta love when a guy steps up when we need him to, and Omar Figueroa. Unfortunately, though, after him, we have Datris, who's basically an automatic out. Might be taggable, though, but the throw beats him by a mile. Spencer Jones with a great throw there. And we lose another out to base running. Been a major problem in the World Series. Not really hurt us so far in this game, but of course has to hurt us at least once every game here in the World Series. It's just a given at this point. Gorzelski in for the 7th here. That will be on time from Datris there for the first out. Dominguez up next. A very hittable pitch there. Couldn't quite get everything on it though. So fly ball to Brian Doe. Top of the order back up. And a strikeout. Ends the inning. A strong performance from Phil Gorzelski, who's for the most part been good for us all postseason long, except for, Game 4. Top of the order up for the Rockies in the 8th. We really need something here. Kyle Brown comes through for us. Ian Hamilton subbed into the game for the Yankees here. Leadoff single. Got a man on base. Clemente Herrera also gonna get on base after him. Could this be the start of a rally? We now have the tying run on home plate. Neil Dorsey, I'll remind you again, no extra base hits in the World Series. Need him to come through for us here. The MVP of baseball in his rookie year has a very bright future ahead of him and could really use a playoff moment here. Instead, he's going to ground into a double play. You've got to be kidding me. The 5-3 double play. And just like that, the Rockies go from 2 straight hits to down with nothing. We have 1 run on 9 hits. How are we so bad at bringing people home? We have negative clutch right now on this offense. It's insane. How are we so horrible at bringing our runners home in a spot this big? We've got 1 chance left or our season is done. We've wasted so many opportunities today alone. Don't get me wrong. The Yankees have certainly played well, and I want to give them their props for sure, but it feels like this team is almost beating itself at this point. The Yankees certainly haven't, been giving us a shortage of opportunities to score. We had the double play that should have been double play, excuse me. I don't think it technically counts for an error because we got an out there, but it should have left the Yankees at 2 back in whatever that was, the 5th inning or whatever it was. 4th inning maybe. We've had our MVP. MVP of baseball has had 3 straight at-bats with runners on base in a World Series that he's just needed his moment in and hasn't been able to come up. He had a good pitching performance here in the World Series. Let's not forget that, of course. And I don't want to sound like a Neil Dorsey hater, but you need that caliber of player to come up big for you in an elimination game, and he just did it. Again, that doesn't change my long-term outlook on him. He's going to be incredible for us, and I don't think this is the only MVP he's going to win by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's going to kind of be a perennial MVP candidate his whole entire career. And he's just a rookie. And I think overall here, while this run was really electric, and after beating the Braves, I thought we were for sure going to be the World Series champions, we just came up short against the Yankees. Now, we still technically have a chance. There's 1 out here. But with all the opportunities we've wasted here in Game 6, I have a hard time believing we're all of a sudden going to make the most of them here in Game 9. Sorry, in the 9th inning, not in the 9th game. But this team had a lot of clutch moments. You know, there were a lot of games that we could have lost. Despite sweeping the Cardinals, I said it in that series. I think 2 of those games we should have lost. I think we got lucky a couple times against Atlanta, and we're just not having that luck here. All the luck that we had, I think, that got us to the World Series, all the late game moments that broke our way are just breaking for the Yankees in this series. And that's just, I think, the deciding factor. A lot of those kind of 50-50 plays can go either way. Just have been going the Yankees' way. We've made a ton of mistakes on the base pass, stealing third. You know, I'm looking at you, Brian Doe, and there's really no reason to. Or sending Neil Dorsey on a run and hit that just unfortunately was so far out of the zone that Murillo couldn't even get a foul tip on it. Missed double plays, just some unlucky pitching. It seems like whatever could go wrong for the Rockies in the World Series for the most part did. And of course, the injury to Murillo was major. You know, could Rafael Murillo have maybe gotten a couple of hits with all those runners in scoring position from that third spot that we couldn't get from Neil Dorsey today? Could he have hit a home run on one of those? I think he very well could have. Not going to guarantee that he would have. He could have very easily have come up short, just like Dorsey did. But he's also, you know, he's had those big moments. He's proven that he can show up in these late game situations already for us. And now it's fitting that our entire season rests on his replacement, his injury replacement in the 9th spot here. We've been able to once again get some runners on base. Been doing that all game long. We just haven't been able to bring any of them home. And that's going to be the case here again. The Rockies lose in the World Series to the New York Yankees. It was a battle between a team whose offense carried them to the World Series against a team whose pitching carried them to the World Series. And ultimately, the pitching won in a big way. It was really, for the most part, the bullpen that really killed the Rockies. It allowed the Yankees offense to really outscore what they had done. Despite the fact that I do think we have a really talented bullpen. One thing for certain, though, I don't think this is the last time the Rockies are playing for a World Series. This team is still incredibly young, and a lot of their core is literally on their rookie season. In fact, Brian Doe will be a rookie next year. I mean, Murillo's very experienced at this rate because he played his first MLB game at 18 years old, but he's still just 22. So the core of this Rockies team is all in their early 20s. An unfortunate end to a very promising season. You want to be the team taking these photos right now, and unfortunately it is the Yankees, a much more veteran team. A team that, you know, knows what it takes to win the World Series. Unfortunately, we just didn't have what it took in the very end. Of surprise 4-for-4 game for Omar Figueroa. Shout out to him. He certainly showed up in this elimination game. Multi-hits games for Brown and Herrera, but ultimately the only run was Zach Veen. A solo shot in the second was the only time we scored in an elimination game. 11 hits, 1 run. Again, I don't think it was for lack of opportunity. I think we just lost. So we'll have the offseason coming up. Although that doesn't really change our team all that much. Really just an extra season of development should help. But we'll be kicking off that new season soon, and I'll see you then.